Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be, wherever you may be. To you, I say Shalom, Shalom. All right, I'm back with another quick health wins and info. All right. So this time I have for you here on the screen from gdacs.org. All right, gdacs.org or GDAX, which stands for Global Disaster Awareness and Coordination System. Right, Global Disaster Awareness and Coordination System, the GDAX. All right. I know you see something else scrolling on the screen here. 6.6 earthquake in Indonesia. All right, so you see all these icons on the screen. You see these blue and orange, and then there's different symbols. All right, so these are all world disasters. And the thing I like about this, the water helps me shot I came across. The thing I like about this is that these things right here are up to date. I'll read this first part down here. It says map of disaster alerts in the past 4 days. All right, European Union 2026. It says the blurred events in the list below are the past events before the last 4 days. All right. So the events before the last 4 days are the ones that are blurred out. It says for drought alerts, all the events listed in the homepage are ongoing events. In bold, all right, you have new events, events where significant worsening has been detected. Events where new information products are available. Global Drought Observatory Report, okay, for forest fires, alerts, so on and so forth. All right, so um, as the scripture says in Matthew 24, that there shall be wars, rumors of wars, pestilences, pestilences, famines, and earthquakes in diverse places. Which earthquakes also goes into volcanoes, not just the ground quaking, but earthquakes also goes into volcanoes. So you have all these things here. So you have this first list right here: earthquakes, Russia, right, 5.8 magnitude, June 19th. Actually, there's two in Russia. One 5.8 with 6.6 June, both June 19th, not too far apart from one another. Oh, actually, the third one's also Russia. There you go, three in Russia, which Russia's a pretty big landmass anyway. So you have three in Russia. Okay. Damn. The 6.0 and 6.6 were like a minute apart, and then you have 752. Okay, 5.8, 6.6, 6.0, all in Russia. Then you have Central Mid Atlantic Ridge, 6.6, June 17th. Japan, 5.5, June 16th. China, all right, it wasn't as heavy um, as some of the other ones. Well, actually, it was more heavy than a couple of the other ones. Really, it's all in the same range. Just one in Russia and that one in Japan. So China, all right, 6.3. But that one in Japan and one in China were dated back June 16th. Indonesia, 6.7, June 16th. And here, when you see this logo up here, so you see that all around the world there. All right, this is the tropical cyclones. All right, Michaela, 26, 213 kilometers an hour. That was June 19th. Arthur, 74 kilometers an hour. That was June 18th. And then you have those that were more than at least 4 days ago. That's why they're blurred out, like it read up above. Christina, all right, Boris, Amanda, Jangmi, Hagupi, or however you pronounce it. All right, basically ranging from May 10th all the way up to June the 11th. Right, so recent enough, right? Except for way back in May, that was last month. Then you have this icon here, so which at first I couldn't tell what it was. I thought it was like, is this like fire or something? And then I noticed that you can, it's because I read over that, but then I said, oh, okay, so you can read what it is. Then I saw, oh, let me click on that. So this house looking thing here with this funny looking, you know, basically these are the floods, all right? So United States, June 17th, Mexico, June 17th, China, June 17th. I'm not sure if you can actually go deeper into this. It just says United States. I don't think the FL stands for Florida. It might be for something else. Okay, Oklahoma State, USA, mid June 2026. So that's where the flooding happened. Bam. So you can get actually more than what you bargained for when you click on one of these names here. You just go down and it tell you Coahuila State, Mexico, mid June 2026. Bam. So beautiful. Then you have the ones that are 4 days older: Honduras, Myanmar, India, Germany. All right, then you go down to more earthquakes, but this time it's in the form of wet volcanoes. All these were older than 4 days. That's why they're all blurred out. But you have two in Indonesia, four in the Philippines, and one in Vanuatu. All right, wherever the heck that is. So yeah, going all the way back to February the 11th up to May the 10th. Okay, and then you have what? This one right here, that dried up plant. Those are the droughts, Central Eastern Europe 2026. And this was interesting too. I think I clicked on this before when I first found this site here. See if it'll come up for us. There you go. So, event summary: the drought has lasted for 5 months. Drought indicators suggest anomalies typical of mild to severe events, which the spirit has been have me, speak a lot, from time to time on and off about the drought and about the famine. Okay, but it's all part of prophecy within Jacob's troubles or Jacob's trouble. Um, Name Central Eastern Europe 2026 countries: Austria, Belarus, Czech Republic, Germany, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Hungary, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, Romania, Serbia, Russia, Sweden, Slovakia, Ukraine. Right. Start date end of December 2025. Duration 151 days, at least 30th of May 2026. All right. Minor impact for agricultural drought. And you see that what you call it here. But also we just went into another one, the global drought monitor. All right, if you didn't catch the health winds and info, that's a good one to watch too. So yeah, there you go. So you have all your droughts there. All right, Angola, Gabon, Congo, that's 2025. Madagascar, Eastern Australia, both 2026. So on and so forth. All right, and then you have what? Forest fires. Democratic Republic of Congo, June 19th. Democratic Republic of Congo again, June 19th. And these obviously have to be different areas. All right, maybe even close together, but all four of these same place, June 19th, with the last one being June 17th. All right, and then you have more ones that are more than 4 days old, but they were also all in the same place from June 10th up to the June 15th, then kicking back up in June 17th, and again in all three in June 19th. And then you have the last thing here, virtual OSOCC, which I don't know what that stands for, but you have Madagascar, tropical cyclone Gazani, or January 2026. All right, 10th of February 2026. So that's super old. Federated States of Micronesia, Typhoon Senlaku, April 2026. So not as old, but still old enough. So yeah, very interesting site. I haven't even found out exactly everything that I could do on the site yet, but as you can see, it's very handy. I'm not sure how up to date. Like I said, I just saw this today, so I'm not sure how often it updates, but it looks pretty update. So I'm guessing periodically it does update. That way you can move around, check things out, go here and there, see all these icons and stuff like that. And it's got the meaning, the answer key to the icons down here. So then you have your map that you can play around with and go to these different areas, I'm pretty sure. Yep, so you just tap right on in. And then you click on the full report here. Orange. All right. So yeah, so you get the gist of it. All right. And this is what, hold on. Okay, there we go. So once again, this is called the Global Disaster Awareness and Coordination System, or the GDAX. All right. So another good little site that'll keep you up to date on some of these things here. So, you know, just another helpful hints and info. So, Lord willing, that you can make use of this and that this was edifying. All right, Shalom.